Every time I meet somebody and they want to know about how to invest in cryptocurrency, I have the same conversation. So I thought I'd make a video about this. And it's about the strategy that I have to invest in the cryptocurrency market right now. This is going to be a reasonably long video. And I hope you really can get to the end of the video and really understand how the people who know what they're doing is investing. All right. But also, this is just my opinion. So you can have your own strategies and you don't have to listen to me. But I think this is pretty logical. Okay. So we know that Bitcoin is probably one of the most volatile assets. And, people still are figuring out what is actually happening in the market, right? So let's actually have a look at some of the bull runs that we had in the past. And no, past is not an indication of the future, but it's the best you're going to get because you're not a fortune teller, right? So if we actually have a look at the 2017 correction right now, and the correction that we're going to see is from the peak to the actual very bottom, that was about an 84% correction right there. Okay, we're going to have a look at the mini peak that we had, sort of a secondary peak that we had in June 2019 around about here, to the dip that we had in the coronavirus region. And that right there was about 70% correction, 75% correction there as well. Next zone obviously is where we are right now, because we see that the correction has happened like so. That's sort of where we are at the moment. So we're looking at 84, 75 and 55% correction. Okay, more corrections have occurred in the past where the correction was actually near the 80% mark. So I think it's safe to assume that cryptocurrency is at a stage where there's too much volatility and we do expect to see that 80% correction mark there. Okay, but we could be wrong as well in that these corrections are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, because we have seen this right here is Apple from back in 1985 here and 1989, the 80s to where we are now. The corrections have gone from 77, 82, 82%, 62, 46, 33, 39, and the corrections are getting smaller and smaller as we understand them, as we refine the technology. Okay, that's what we can actually anticipate into the future. But Bitcoin, where it is right now, I do still expect for that 80% corrections to come in. So what then am I looking for? Well, I don't know if it's going to actually correct to exactly that 80% mark, although investing at that 80% mark will be good, because if you did that back in 2017, expect understanding that it has to retrace 80%, not even 84%, having that price there to where we are right now, you would have been up 812% just on Bitcoin alone. That's a pretty damn good return right there. That would have taken a while, and that's fine. And people may argue that, look, even if you invested at the all-time highs in 2017, you're still better off right now. You're still up 113% there. But you know what? Knowing people's psychology and knowing your psychology, right, you probably wouldn't have held for that long, okay? And you might have sold out earlier thinking that, this is it. But Bitcoin is going to behave like this for a bit longer. So what I suggest people do is I suggest people to dollar cost average, right? Because it matters more where you buy than how much money you make or whatever, how much money you will make. That doesn't really matter. As long as you buy the asset at the right price, then you will be fine. At this point in time, people ask me all these questions. Should I buy at the moment? Should I be buying right now? My answer is no. Why would you buy at the moment? We're at a mere, okay, providing that was the all-time, was a high. We're only at a 30% retracement from where it used to be. That is not a buying territory for me, okay? There's all this downwards room given its past history for it to go to. That's why I probably wouldn't do it that way. I mean, if I held for as long as 3.5 years, which is the length here, right? If I held for that long and I had the guts and the balls to be able to hold it for that long, that's fine. But I'm not a patient person, and most of you probably aren't as well either. So the likelihood of me selling in that time is very, very high, knowing our characters. So I could have even bought at this all-time high if I just held for as long as I can, no dramas. But that's sort of where things are at right now. And of course, buying it at a lower price means that you have a much, much higher gain. You leverage those gains, which is great. We want to maximize our profits. That's what we're trying to do here. So right now is not a buying territory. What I am doing is, right, okay, so we look at that correction to the low of that, May, June, that time there, and we had three separate opportunities to buy here, here, and here. They were all at 55% retracements, right? Which is pretty good. Not quite at 85%, that's 55%. So my rule always was between 55% to 85%. Right? So 85% retracement of the nearest high that I will be accumulating, because this region could be something similar to like this region here, that it could actually move from straight here upwards, right? And what I do is at every 5% level below that 55% region, I buy, and buy. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So that's 55% retracement. Okay, and right now I'm not going to buy. So between 55 and 85 is what I'll do. So the next zone will be, so from that level to, let's go 65% here. And then we're gonna do, I'm not gonna do every 5% because that's just too many rectangles that I gotta draw. And then the next will be 85%, boom, right there. These prices, right? These are the prices that I'll be dollar cost averaging into. So I've bought at this level, right? And I'll buy at this level, and I'll buy at this level. and then I'll buy again at this level. Okay. Now the price may not go down to that level and come up. Okay. It may not do that. It may just be the case that I've only bought in at that time, and that's fine. That's fine. But if it does, that's what I will be dollar costing average into, and I'll do that at every 5% increments. That's probably what I'm going to be doing. But the thing is, for me to be able to buy at every 5%, okay, I need to have money to invest. So what I tell people to do is, you want to invest in crypto, go get income, run a business, get a better job, go get property where there's income so that you have money to invest. That's the most important thing when it comes to crypto investing. And when you do buy, don't buy Bitcoin. Why would you buy Bitcoin? Okay. We do this to make money, guys. Okay. If Bitcoin does get to that $120,000 mark from where we are right now, or even at these levels, you're only going to what? You're only going to get 2x. And that's not much money when it comes to cryptocurrency investing. You could probably do better in other things. So what I do is, at these levels here, I'll be dollar cost averaging into altcoins, right? Good altcoin projects. Here's the thing. When this happened, right? When this happened, and within 1 or 2 weeks, this pump actually happened out of Bitcoin, or Bitcoin has increased. Now, I don't call it a pump, but let's say an increase. What percentage do you think of the top 100 coins in crypto market cap has gone up by more than 20 and 25%? Okay, it's 100% of them. So every single one of these coins actually did really well straight away after that. Okay, now if you're gonna go for the long term, and you probably will, okay, and you probably should, then you need to make sure that you'll be investing into alternative cryptocurrency that is actually going to be lasting that long. Okay, that's why you need to research into the use case. And once the use case is solid and you've got a good team behind it, well, then it's gonna be around for the long run. Okay, so do keep that in mind. So I made this video. Okay,
you'll be doing 3K.
Okay, shushando. Okay, here we go. So this is the strategy that we have right now. Make $10,000. Okay, when the bear market comes, buy the solid altcoins for 90% of their tops. Okay, so when Bitcoin retraces 80%, 90%, buy them in. That's what this is saying. Okay, now it's saying that just buy the altcoins at 90%, negative 9% of their tops. Because if you think about it, if it drops 90%, you buy it, then it go back to the same price. You actually 10xing. You're not just increasing by 90%. You're 10xing, which is crazy, right? And then the next bull run, and then they will go 20 to 30x. And once you have the 250K in your bank account, you can put into DeFi, making $3,000 a month, and that's entirely possible. DeFi will get you these stable incomes that you get just from staking. You can also do fund rates on futures exchanges, on Bybit and stuff like that, and you'll easily be able to make 11 to 40% a year. That's not even that hard to do. So right now, should you be investing? No, because the scenario is the following. Okay, so the scenario is that we can moon straight out of this onto the 100K, 6-figure, 200K region, 120K region. That is possible. Okay, so if you bought that in and that happens, kudos to you. Well done. Good on you, mate. It can go up there, and if it does, great. But you know what? When it does go up there, it's gonna dump. It's gonna dump that 80%. Okay, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's either dumping from this high, or it's gonna dump from this high. And when that happens, it is still not a late time for you to get into the cryptocurrency market. It will happen. The corrections are going to happen, right? Because this peak could have been like this peak back here, you see? So it could go down here, and then it could go to a new high as well. But when that happens, don't be anxious. Okay, don't FOMO in. Okay, but just look for a better price to enter into it. And when that happens, use Bitcoin, right, as an indicator, rather than investing directly into Bitcoin. Okay, so in the meantime, what should you be doing? If you're not investing money and you're watching everybody else get rich, okay, don't be jealous. Relax. If you heard about cryptocurrencies just now, it's even more dangerous that you get into the market right now. So just relax, because you don't want to be caught holding a massive bag. We call it holding a massive bag, because if it does this and it takes ages to actually get up to the market and for you to beat above it, that during this time you'll be holding bags. That's what we call it. Bag holding. That's what we call it. Don't be that guy. So what could you do right now? If you got some money, well, consider DeFi right now. DeFi. Okay, it's gonna return you better money. Okay, DeFi and staking, right? Staking, it's gonna get you better money than any bank will get you. It's gonna get better money than any real estate is gonna get you as well, which is a bit sad, because real estate is pretty expensive anyway at the moment. So go do some research on DeFi. If you go to my channel, there's a lot of options there as well, and I will be putting more videos out on new and upcoming DeFis that are stable and that gives you great returns as well. And DeFi is the most stable option. But second option is NFTs. Oh, NFTs, bro. It takes a bit of a learning curve for you to understand what NFTs are, and if you're new to the market, you probably struggle to understand what it is. But that's where the money's at, guys. So if you're going to spend any time learning or anything like that, that's where you should be getting into. Okay, so I suggest you doing that. And number three, if you must invest into the cryptocurrency market, okay, look for dumps. Look for dumps in the stable ones, okay? So dumps of, I don't know, Ethereum or Bitcoin or anything like that, and just invest small money that you can afford to lose, so that you can just get a taste of the market. That is my take on what it is. How many Bitcoin that I own? How many Bitcoins do I own? I'll tell you how many Bitcoins I own. I own 0 Bitcoins. I don't need to. Because why invest the money into Bitcoin when I know that, you know, the market as a whole moves all together, right? The alts are going to be more volatile with it. So that's why I'm saying, why would you invest into Bitcoin? The most you're going to get is like, you know, 2x or 3x, whereas the other coins, if you invest into the alts, right? Good use case for alts like your VeChain or, you know, I'm not going to name more because you're just going to go and copy me. Don't do that. Go do your own research. Go do your own research. VeChain is a pretty good project as well, but there's so many out there and I do talk about them. So go and subscribe, go like, share and subscribe. That's the end of my video. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace out.